Hello fellow stargazers, welcome back to Kenya Space Talk, where we turn stardust into stories. Now today, I don't want us to go into space, rather I want us to go in the space inside our head, which is the brain, our mind. As you know, your brain inaoperate na senses. You know the 5 senses, which is sight, taste, hearing, touch. Hizo mlifunzwa shule. Sasa, your brain depends on frequencies and vibration from the 5 senses to communicate with the surrounding, to make what is real to you, or rather you can say to make your own reality. Like something funny, what you perceive as red is not red to everything. Like everybody, or rather tuseme kila mnyama anaonanga colors zake. Now my question is, which reality ni ya ukweli yako ama ya huyo mnyama mwenye anaona different na wewe? Another example is, imagine haujawahi guza anything, you've never touched anything or anyone, even your spouses haujawahi mguza. So what happened is that in the atomic level we have electromagnetic forces. These electromagnetic forces create a repulsive force. The repulsive force, hiyo ndo huwa tuna feel kama a touch. For starters, let us start with the 5 senses. Remember the 5 senses: touch, sight, hearing, taste na smell. So hizo senses, what they depend on the frequencies and the vibrations in a get from the surrounding. For example, for sight, lazima light it originate from a light source. You hit an object, it reflects to your eyes through the cornea, hivyo to the retina, then through the optic nerve inaenda kwa brain, inaprocessiwa kama image. The other one is like touch. When you need to touch something, remember, you don't touch anything na hutawahi guza anything. What happens is that the atoms in your body na the atoms of the object unataka kuguza ziko na electromagnetic forces between them. Ni kama uchukue magnet, uchukue north pole na north pole, ujaribu kuzipeleka pamoja. Venye huwa zinakataana, that repulsive ndo huwa tunafeel kama touch. In everything unatry kuguza or everything una hold. Wewe ukisikia umeiguza, hujaiguza, what happens is una feel hiyo repulsive force. So in this sense, hujawahi guza kitu, you've never touched anything in your life. Another example is hearing. In order for you to hear, lazima kukuwe na sound waves. Sound waves zina travel through air, zinafanya your eardrum ina vibrate. So at the end of the day, unaona, your brain depends on the vibrations na frequencies kujua what is happening around, ama in order for it to create your own reality or whatever is going around you. In short, you create your own surroundings kwa akili yako. Now, nataka tuende beyond sisi to the animals. How do animals see? How do animals hear? And how do animals see their reality? Is animals' reality same na yetu? And if animals' reality is not the same with ours, which reality is true? Ni ya nani ya ukweli, yao ama yetu? And who determines ni ya nani ya ukweli, ni yetu ama ni yao? For example, snakes, they see in infrared. That means the snake depends on the heat signature from your body ndo ikuone. Meaning hata kwa giza, the snake will still see you because it only need the heat signature from your body to see you. Another thing, unapata kama a bat. A bat depends on echolocation for navigation. Another example, unapata for example a bird. A bird can see ultraviolet light while human beings hatuwezi iona. We only see the visible light in the electromagnetic wave spectrum. So from this you can see that every animal anaishi kwa reality yake. Every animal has its own reality. We come back to my question. Whose reality is real? Na who determines ni ya nani ya ukweli na ni ya nani ya uongo? Because you find your red is not the dog's red, and the dog's red is not the cat's red, and the cat's red is not the whatever red. Kunapata everybody has colors zake. This is because in our eyes, remember the light ni ya white. So ikiingia kwa eyes zako, it is sieved by the color pigments in your eyes. Zina kwanga red, blue na green. When it is sieved, the other colors zina originate from that. So your eyes ziko na pigments that three colors only. Now the difference is, the pigments kwa macho zetu ni different na pigments kwa wanyama wengine. Meaning whatever wewe ukifungua macho chenye unaona, it's not the same thing the cow is seeing, the dog is seeing, the snake is seeing. Everybody is seeing his own reality. back to us. Remember, we need light to see, and light is not color. Light ikwangi colors. Light is simply vibration. It's one of the electromagnetic spectrum. Kwa hapo visible light somewhere in the center. So in order for you to see, light must originate from a source, hits an object, then the reflection is sent in your eyes in order for you to see the object. So as you can see, there is a distance between the object na wewe. And again, light has a speed which is about 300,000 kilometers per second. So with the speed and the distance, remember speed is equals to distance over time. So you see that light will take some time to get into your eyes, meaning whatever unaona or whatever you see, when you look at something, you are not seeing it now, you are seeing it a very small fraction of time in the past. So you don't see the present time. Also kwa hearing, you will find that sound will take time kufikia your eardrum. So unapata even whatever you are hearing is not happening now. You are hearing some few nanoseconds or a very small fraction of time behind. If you've never touched anything, and if you normally see your own things, and again remember, you don't see the present, you've never had anything in the present time, what makes you think whatever you perceive as reality is real? If you yourself, you see your own things from other animals, from even other people. I think kuna watu wakona, unasikia mtu akona ni color blind. This happens mostly in men. You find men hawajuangi colors. That means men see their own things different na women. Unaona, even the reality of men and women is not the same. Now, what is real? Back to that question. Now, as we continue, I have a question. What happens when a person hallucinates? Wenye msee anaanzanga kuona vitu aziuko na he's very sure, he or she is very sure whatever anaona is real na ina exist na huwezi msikiza anything. So hallucination is brought by generation of perception without external stimuli. Remember, you must have an external stimuli. Ina come through the five senses, the taste, smell, hearing, touch, and remember tumesema hujai guza kitu. So those senses, they are called external stimuli, which helps the brain to create its own reality. Now sometimes the brain can decide to create its reality without the external stimuli, and that is when we say a person is hallucinating. And it's also the same thing that happens during dreams. The brain generates perception without external stimuli. Now that depends on the data the brain recorded. You see, now it's going to start creating its own reality with what it has already, without an external stimuli. Remember, even Albert Einstein himself said that reality is a mere illusion, but a very persistent one. Even feelings, themselves, they are not real. I normally tell people, mapenzi ni scam, amunisikiangi. You find that when you see somebody akubambe, your brain ina release kitu inaitwa dopamine. The dopamine will give you the pleasure, the good feeling when you see that person, and it will give you the illusion of umependa huyo msee. Not only love, the other feelings, anger, what, it's all an illusion. It's not real. It's your brain which is creating the reality of those feelings that you are feeling. Till next time guys, go and create your own reality.